Hello everyone and welcome to Jurassic Park Week, Series 3 on Victoria's Cantina. This time, Jurassic Park Week is being done in honor of National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Simply by watching this video all the way through, you are helping to raise money for breast cancer research. For further details, including how you can further help to raise money, please click on the link below. Today we're taking a look at the Kenner, the Lost World Jurassic Park Velociraptor, codename Cyclops Raptor, from 1997. And to help me complete this review, a little bit later, we will be hearing from my friend Astrid, who you may better know as Jurassic Park mega collector, YouTuber, and Instagrammer, the Jurassic Collection. Okay, so looking here at the packaging, we have the now very classic the Lost World aesthetic. And although I think most of us prefer the Kenner Jurassic Park packaging, there's no doubt that the Lost World look holds a special place in our hearts after 20 years since the film's release. I love the logo, I love the look of the T-Rex, and I really like how you can see the figure in there very prominently, along with his accessory. It says Cyclops Raptor thrashes out of restraint gear. At the back, you get a look at the Cyclops Raptor out in the woods somewhere, just strolling along with capture gear stuck on his head, and other items that are available in the Kenner Jurassic Park collection, such as the larger dinosaurs, the vehicles, the mid-sized electronic dinosaurs, and human action figures, and smaller sized dinosaurs. I really love the dioramas that Kenner used to do back in the day for the toys, and just put them there in the box and give people a very cool fantasy scenario. I love that completely. And just all those dinosaurs, so awesome. Brings back a lot of memories looking at these, especially that Stegosaurus right there, which I owned back in 1997. And Kenner, JP, and check us out online, Hasbro.com. Interesting how the Lost World website is gone. It was on the packaging of Dr. Malcolm, if you recall, but now it's gone from here. And down here at the bottom, it shows you how to activate the action feature. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the Cyclops Raptor out of the packaging. All right, so here is the Cyclops Raptor out of the packaging. And it has a very interesting aesthetic because it doesn't look to be quite as film accurate as the original Kenner Jurassic Park Velociraptor that was also repainted for the Lost World line. Not just in terms of coloration, but also in terms of overall sculpt and aesthetics. It's just very different. Some might even argue that it's downright ugly, and that could be so, but I think that that's mostly a matter of paint because I have seen repaints that Hasbro did later on that actually did look pretty good. But as far as the overall sculpt goes, it looks pretty good. It is quite proportionate for the most part. It does look a little bit fat in the midsection, and the head does look up to be a little bit small, especially compared to the neck, which is also kind of wide. And the head also looks to be a little bit small, especially compared to the neck, which also appears to be a little bit wide. But it's definitely an aggressive looking Velociraptor. So I would be careful around this one. Now looking at the head, you can see that it does look quite interesting. There is a lot of sculpted detail that is going on here. I mean, you can see all the texturing that they did around its head, but it is very different from the classic looking Jurassic Park Velociraptor. You have a very bright yellow eye with a red slit, which is kind of interesting. The teeth, they're kind of jumbled in there into the sculpt. I mean, they're not really sculpted separately. I mean, it just kind of seems like they're part of the tongue is where they're sculpted, and they just kind of painted them. But they didn't paint them all the way up to the lip line or to the gum line, which is interesting. They look longer here on the bottom than they do on the top. And that's also the case for the opposite side. So I'm not really quite sure why they did that. Now you can see why they call this Cyclops Velociraptor. It's missing an eye, or its eye got scratched out by another dinosaur or something. Maybe it got into a fight with the other Lost World Velociraptor. And yeah, it lost vision in one eye. So I wonder how it sees. I mean, if they have binocular vision, then it's probably just looking at you with one eye like that. But in any case, overall sculpting, like I said, is quite nice. JP logo right there, site B, number 13. And you can see more slash marks here on its side that they sculpted in there. If you look at its back, there's even more slashes here. So it definitely does look to me like it got into a fight with another Velociraptor. More slashes here on that leg. And even here on the tail, look at all those marks. So yeah, this is a raptor that has been through a lot. Wouldn't doubt it if he's got some serious PTSD or, something going on there. The coloration, like I said, is quite interesting. It's this very nice dark jungle green with more of this light yellowy green on the bottom, and these cream-colored stripes that go along the top of its body and around the top part of its legs. And the claws are actually painted pretty nicely. They're kind of that same cream color. Same with the toe claws. Though if you look at the sickle claw, they're kind of stubby looking, aren't they? Like compared to the longer toe claws. So it definitely seems like InGen has been up to something, because this is not like the other Lost World Velociraptor that was released. So something's going on with here. It's not straight up Velociraptor. There's some sort of genetic modifications that have been made with this version of the dinosaur. So for the action feature, you basically just hold the figure in place and you move the tail back and forth, kind of similar to what we saw with the Hasbro Jurassic World toys. Very similar action feature to that. So it definitely looks like it's just kind of, thrashing. Maybe it's grabbed something to eat and it's just thrashing back and forth. Here's a comparison of the Cyclops Velociraptor along with the regular Velociraptor that came in the Lost World Jurassic Park toy line. They seem to be roughly in scale with one another, though of course the paint schemes are radically different on each figure. Now what is kind of similar is that they took the paint scheme that the original Raptor had and they sort of applied it quite loosely to the Cyclops Raptor. This still has the striping that goes along the top of the body and around the thighs of the legs, but it's done in different colors and it's a little bit different. So I think overall the original version right here, which of course was also in the Jurassic Park toy line, is more classic. Scratch my back with pleasure. Okay, so now to show us the accessory that the Cyclops Raptor comes with, as well as how it works, here is Astrid from the Jurassic Collection to handle that portion of the review.
Thank you, Victoria. Hello and welcome, guys. So as Victoria already told you, this little girl is amazing. Unlike any other raptor figures, this one is in a very active pose, ready for attack. It resembles a scared cat, ready to pounce, and no wonder why, since she's covered with scratches and wounds all over her body, and white stripes on its back, which is an odd choice, since it doesn't resemble any raptor-ish colors we have had in any of the films so far. Almost looks like it's covered in snow for some reason, but I am not displeased with it. It's a possibility to have different colored animals from the same species. And I've always liked the green color, so no complaints here. The sculpt overall, it's great. It's clearly a raptor who has had a rough life. However, its feet are way too large, which I kinda get because otherwise it would be much more difficult for it to stand up. But other than that, it's great. I really like the fact that it's covered with scars, or what I like to assume are scars, since they are not painted red or anything. It also shows its tail bent in a weird way, which isn't just bent, but looks more like the bone has been broken and caused a deformity. Another sign of abuse is its left eye, which is all white and definitely doesn't work anymore. Hence the nickname Cyclops. The detail is exquisite with all the little creases, especially here where the wound is much larger. She looks like she has had a really rough life. Probably a former alpha that got into a fight with a challenger and lost the fight, becoming a rogue. Or an already underappreciated member of the pack that got beaten up constantly by its siblings. Or maybe it got into a fight with a larger predator over food. I don't know, I'm just trying to imagine what the story behind her could be. What do you guys think? The articulation is basic. The hands and legs can move, and it can also move its tail alongside its head, but only sideways. Which is a shame because it cannot look up and down, making the playability not so great. Also the fact that it can't close its mouth, it's annoying. It comes with a single piece of capture gear that goes like this. And as you can see, you can make the action attack, and it's quite difficult to release it from the restraints. So kudos Kenner for actually making a capture gear that doesn't fall off. However, in more realistic terms, this chain wouldn't do anything against a raptor. I mean, come on, it can still walk and move its hands. Of course it can still kill you. Overall, I really like it, even though I got frustrated while trying to play with it, since it's really hard to keep it standing. And it's kinda hard to attack other figures with it. But that's my 9-year-old talking. Anyways, back to you, Victoria, and thank you for having me.
Wow, thank you so much, Astrid, for that fantastic look at the accessory included with the Cyclops Raptor and for demonstrating how it works. Be sure to subscribe to the Jurassic Collection on YouTube and follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Alright, my friends, so that'll do it for this installment of Jurassic Park Week Series 3. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Be sure to subscribe to the Cantina Chatter podcast on iTunes. As always, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.